This week on Did Y'all See, we're talking about Vogue magazine likening Lupita's hairstyle to Audrey Hepburn's, the response to Janay Rice's pregnancy announcement, and Tayja Jones' prom picture going viral. Get into all this tea on Did Y'all See. So, did y'all see that Lupita Nyong'o was at the Met Gala and she wore a nice green dress and she had her hair sculpted in an updo, very tall. And it was clearly African inspired, right? But when Vogue reported about the hairdo, because you have to talk about it, they said that she was inspired by, or she might have been inspired by Audrey Hepburn. And they actually titled the piece, like, is Lupita the new Audrey Hepburn? And I think what was so ridiculous about this one is that Lupita specifically told people that Nina Simone was her inspiration. So for them to go and find a white woman is just like, okay, y'all being ridiculous. So what do you guys think about it?
This is what white people do. This is what people in the white media industry do, and I feel as though that in order for them to relate or to even like certain black women who are fashion icons, they have to relate it. They have to find someone in their, in their fashion icon past that will allow them to be like, oh, okay, like I get it now. Instead of just instead of researching our African culture and being like, I get it, I feel like they always need to relate whiteness in order for them to comprehend why something is so special and why it needs to be regarded with honor.
Right.
I mean, it's not surprising. They do this all the time. I mean, cornrows, bantu knots, like baby hair, like it's nonstop. So this is not. It's not surprising, but I'm glad she checked.
Yeah, she did. She put up a video of like the African women who had similar hairstyles, and then Nina Simone, because I told y'all it was Nina.
You don't listen.
Right. And they don't really do their research as far as like anything. So it's very much like, oh, here she is, she's styling, and I love this. I can't really relate to whoever she's like trying to channel, so why don't we, so that our readership will care, try to be like, she's trying to do the whole Audrey Hepburn because every white woman loves Audrey Hepburn, and it's kind of like, that's just so lame. And it's just sad when we do try to pay homage to black women who have come before us and done great things, and even just our ancestors, Mama Africa in general. It's like, it's still some kind of way to whitewash it into something. And so I'm glad she said something about it, because a lot of people would just be like really quiet and they would just let themselves be whitewashed by, mainstream publications. So it's good that she said something and said it politely and not in some like, okay, because she's very classy anyway. So, it was just interesting. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I was upset yesterday.
You were mad.
I was pissed yesterday.
You was big mad.
I was really pissed because I'm like, I remember last year when they were talking about Kim K's like boxer braids or whatever. Brandy was like, "We're not being appropriated. We're being like trolled." And I was like, I don't know. I just feel like white people are ignorant. But yesterday I felt like, no, y'all are really trolling for real. I'm like, if I tell you out of my mouth, Nina Simone is my inspiration, don't go looking for no white woman to put up next to me. I told you specifically. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's just like, no, I hear you. It's like you're dealing with a child. I hear you, but I really don't hear you. So go on. Let me find somebody else to put next to you. It made me so upset. So y'all, speaking of hair, Brandy wrote about like black women going to the salon and sitting there feeling like, okay, this is not what I came here for, and this is not what I want. So when that has happened to you, and it's happened to all of us, do you say something in the moment, or do you just go home and fix it yourself? Do you vow never to come back? Or like, how do you handle it?
It really depends on the style. Like if it's like something like a washing set that I can just fix and go, it's fine. But when it's like something more permanent, I'm gonna speak up. Like there was a girl who told me she could do Senegalese twist, no problem. Shorty told me to get the wrong, and she told me to get the wrong hair. We tried to do the Senegalese twist, they wouldn't hold. So she decides she's gonna do box braids. And not what I asked for, but cool, let's do it. When I tell y'all, it was an epic fail. It was so bad, and I'm just like, sis, like, what is this? Like, this looks really bad. And I don't know, it's because of the hair, it's because of this, it's because of that. But you're supposed to be the professional.
Right.
And this is what you told me to do. And I'm not happy. And I'm going to give you a little change, but I'm not coming to you again. Like, I will definitely speak up. I will leave Yelp reviews. I'm petty like that. Google reviews and all of that. But I'm definitely I'm definitely gonna.
You left a Yelp review?
Girl, she was just some random.
Right,
She
okay,
had
okay.
none. But when I'm paying my money, like I need to, and it's not to be like nasty, like maybe you didn't know what I had in mind. So I'll try to address it with you. But I feel like a lot of times when it comes out the way that you didn't want it to come out is because they can't do it the way you want it to be done.
My facial reactions tell everything, so I think my face always tells how I really feel. But I don't speak up, I think, just because of the way I was conditioned, because of my mom, and then even our culture, like, you know, people, West Indians get funny about hair and telling people that, you know, you did a bad job because you're afraid of juju, bad juju. And then also with my mom, whenever I would tell her, like, oh, I didn't like this style, and I was like little, she would be like, oh, well, you're a child, so no one is looking at you. And for a long time, you even as an adult, you're like, oh, I can make it work, because as a kid you're like, I can make this work, even though I'm miserable on the playground because I don't like how you did my pigtails. But you know, like, I think because my mom was like so brazen about that, I've always been like, oh, I'll figure it out. Like when I leave this person, I'll figure it out. So yeah.
When I was younger, there were a lot of times where I would get my hair styled like whatever. I was this lady like consistently when I was in high school, and I did like a bowl cut at one point. And I just needed her to like do my whatever, do my perm, whatever, blah, 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 my relaxer, and then just line the back up or whatever. She acted like she could do it, but when it was finished, it was literally like she had just taken like a razor and like kind of like just did something with the bottom real quick. It was very like, I still have B2Bs like on the side. I was like, Keisha, this I'm like, can we get it down a little bit more, please? And she was like, you know, you trying to act like, you know, trying to be nice at the same time, like, hey, Keisha, this ain't really feeling right. And she's like, oh, well, girl, you know, I don't really do.
At least you admitted it. At least you admitted it.
But why you even try?
You put the razor to my neck?
Right. And then she sat up there and was like, but you can go sit in the barber chair and he could line you up real quick, but did I not have to pay him too?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it was ridiculous. So as I get older, when I see stuff, I'll be like, no, this ain't working. If you taking too long, I'll just get up and leave. And I've done that before. The lady was like, your hair is not fully dry. I'm like, well, I've been here for 6 hours, okay? I need to leave. Like, and I literally told my hairdresser, who I love recently, I had the 2 knots in my head. When she did it, she was like, and I'm like, it's kind of like cricket though. Can we pull it down? She's like, no. And then she looked at it, she was like, oh, okay. I'm like, you know, it's a nice way to tell people like, this ain't hidden.
If people see me looking crazy, I'm gonna tell them where I got it done. Or if I'm looking right, I'm gonna tell them where I got it done. So
right.
Like, you actually shooting yourself in the foot. But I just don't. But you know, beauticians, they really do be considering themselves like artists.
Yeah. This is
they don't want you to tell them nothing. Like, so you can go in there with a picture. They say they know how to do it, and you come out looking totally different. So I don't know. It is like I feel like the older I get, you do have to say. I really don't have to say much though, because I just style my own hair. I just have them go in there and do like the basic maintenance, the stuff I can't do at home, and then I just take care of it on my own, because I've been conditioned to just like, I've been going to the shop since I was like 6, 7, getting perms and when I wasn't paying for it, so I didn't have a voice. It was just like, my mom is paying for it. This is how my mom wants my hair to look. So then you just take it and get up, you know? Yeah. But now I'm just like, just take care of it.
So Janay Rice recently announced that she is pregnant again by her husband, Ray Rice, and people had some really nasty things to say about it. They were calling her a gold digger. She cost him his career. She's a stupid idiot. But I'm like, isn't she kind of the victims?
Right,
you know?
Right.
I mean, I don't know if it was the best decision to bring a child into this, you know, if it's still toxic like that, but hopefully he got help and hopefully he's not beating anybody anymore and they can move forward. But I'm like, beating down on her is not going to help the situation in any way. So I thought that the response to her pregnancy was really ugly and really interesting.
I'm surprised that people are still on that, like, blaming her for it. Like, when was that ever? I didn't know that was even part of the discussion. Like, she cost him his career. No, he cost himself his career when he socked his wife and drug her out of the elevator like trash. I mean, but I mean, that happened. She decided to stay. So the thing is, my thing is, like, if you want to comment on it, just be like, oh, you know, I hope the best for them.
Right.
Period. And congratulations. Like, that's just so, I don't know why you want to speak ill over, like, an unborn child.
To see those comments about Janay, like, I feel like those comments and even her comments, it just shows me that a lot of people do believe that men don't have any responsibility in this world, and that men do have the access to treat people however they want to treat them, or almost try to kill them, and not reap like the repercussions of that, you know. So even though I saw the picture and I was like, God bless, and I kept scrolling because I knew the comments were going to be like crazy. And that's the thing too, like these are like other people in this world, you know, like mothers, fathers, like thugging out on the internet, the worst.
I just looked at the story when I saw it online, and I was like, okay. Exactly. And I just kept moving because I had nothing good nor bad to say about it. You know what I mean? This is what happens when you decide to stay with someone and you all continue a relationship. You're eventually going to want to build your family even more. So considering that they've moved on and that's what they're doing, and she seems happy, I don't really know what else there is to say about it. You know, she cost him his career. I mean, of course not. Like, we all make choices and we have to deal with the repercussions of those things. And, you know, he seems fine in the pictures too. Like, it is what it is. Like, you live and you learn, and they're moving on. And that's good. Like, people have got to get a life. Like, I just think people just troll so hard in the attempts of finding somebody who will second their opinions and make them feel
validated.
Something. Right. I just feel like the internet as a whole, well, social media as a whole these days is just about people consistently seeking validation of some sort. And it's just sad. And if I was pregnant, I knew my situation, I probably would. If I was her, I probably wouldn't even announced it, because I just you don't want that negativity for something so important and something that's precious. And you know, you can't let everybody in on everything anymore, unfortunately. So Tayja Jones is a 17-year-old girl from Philly. She went to prom recently, and she really didn't want to go to prom like that, but her people like persuaded her to go. So she got all, you know, jazzy, dolled up, and she looked really cute. And she had a really good time at prom with her friends. So she posted a picture near the end of the night, you know, of herself, you know, smiling, and she felt good. And when she woke up the next morning, her friends were like messaging her, letting her like, girl, your picture's being like spread around. So it went viral. And this really just trifling dude, he shared her picture, and people were just going in on her about her weight, about her body, and it even makes my stomach hurt talking about it, because she's only 17, like I said, and she was really hurt by it.
Like, this is the proof of like people, you know, people say like people tough type because they're feeling like some type of way about their own lives and situations, and like this is the proof of that. The proof. I'm like, based on the things he said, you would have thought this dude was
it.
The Black Brad Pitt.
Okay, that's what he calls himself.
More like the Black Pit Bull.
So, I mean, it's just like, it's like, this is proof you can't really give credence to what people say online, because if this is how you live in, and it's not just a physical thing, to hear him speak, it's a whole lot going on. So you can't even, it's like, really the situation is just sad. It's, you feel, at the end of the day, you watch him and it's like, I feel more sorry for you. She gonna be all right. You?
This is all you got.
Like, this is a child that you're trying to get brownie points on, off of, on social media, and you're a grown man. Grown. And it's not even a boy, it's a little girl. Like, what is your problem? Right. And even the people who jumped on it with him and started gigging on her, like, this is a kid, B, and you 30, 40, 50, like, going in on Instagram, like, that's cute.
Right.
Like Jazzy said, karma never loses the address, right? So I just feel that I went on her page yesterday after Victoria wrote her story. And I'm just really glad that she's receiving a lot of opportunities with Gabby Fresh and other outlets. To share her message and to get money. Something that you will never have because you're too busy fucking around on Instagram. And that's all I have to say. Okay, she's getting money and education. What?
Right, she need to send him a thank you card.
Okay, thank you for opening up a door.
Hey y'all, thank you for watching and supporting us every single week. For more Did Y'all See, click here. For celebrity interviews, here. And for our comedic series Relationship Hacks, click here. And as always, be sure to subscribe.